I'm back with the Halloween horror challenge. I don't know, we're just reviewing horror movies this month, because it's October, it's spooky season. And today I wanted to get into the Halloween mood. And ever since October has started, I've had a craving. And then I remembered about a film that I bought in Knoxville when I went to see The Boys at FrankenCon, and that movie is Jacko. Now, when I bought this film, either Matt or John from the Sick on Cinema podcast, I think I told them, like, oh, I bought Jacko, and one of them, I don't remember, said, like, oof. Which always inspires confidence whenever you're buying a movie, when one of your friend is like, oof. And I did talk to John. He said he liked it, but it's not good. And he's absolutely right. This is bad. This is probably the worst movie out of the 11 I've seen so far this month. This is the worst. It's not terrible, it's not awful, it's no alien beasts, it's no Thanksgiving, shit, it's not even murder size. That was just me naming all of the terrible piles of dog doo-doo that I've seen this year. I've seen way more. Homicycle, like, this is not on that level, because this at least is a movie. And there were people behind this who knew how to make a movie. Well, I mean, it's produced and written by Fredel and Ray, so I'm not too sure about that one. I'm sure there's a movie somewhere from Fredel and Ray that I can tolerate, but I haven't found it yet. But it's not directed by him, at least. Or maybe that might not be. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing. It's directed by Steve Latcha. So this movie's about, like, this legend from this small town of a pumpkin man that comes back. And there's family drama in between. We get this random lady who drives to a city, and then some kids are playing, and one of the kid is like, oh, that's a witch in this car, and he starts throwing rocks at the car. And then the other kid, our main character, Sean, who's a kid actor of all time, holy shit is he bad. It's terrible. Like, I don't want to harp on the kid too much, because he was a child, but he couldn't act to save his goddamn life, and he's annoying. He's probably the worst part of this movie. Anyway, he gets into, like, a tussle with the guy who was throwing fucking rocks at a car, and then the lady in the car breaks up the fight, and then she asks the kid, like, well, where you live, can I give you a ride back home? And he's like, well, my mother doesn't want me to get with strangers. The kid is a nerd. The kid deserves to be bullied. Fuck Sean. And yeah, so the lady walks up to the parent, and she explains everything to them, like how the kid was throwing rocks and how Sean saved the day. He's a brave child. And then we find out that she is writing a book on her family history. And then we later find out that her and the parents of Sean are related to the people who lynched this guy back in the day. And that's where Pumpkin Man comes from, because that guy cursed the town, and he was like, oh, which is always, I do love some movies that have this thing of, oh, in 500 years I'll have my revenge, or in this case it's 5 generation, and it's just like, man, why don't you take your revenge now? Because who knows if there's going to be 5 generations, they might all, like, get the plague. Or they might just not have children, because that's a possibility, and then your curse serves nothing. Anyways, in this case, the curse served something, because it got those fucking assholes. And yeah, the family is really, like, tolerating the fact that there's just this random woman who was hanging out with their kids. I guess this was the 90s. And they invite her home. And then the dad and the mom, well, more specifically the dad really seems to really like women other than his wife. And then he just invites her, and she stays like around the house for like the rest of the movie. Like, she's just there. Like, she doesn't knock anything, she's just in scenes. And speaking of being just in scenes, all of the actors in this are just waiting for their cue. You'll see the camera pan, and then you can see slightly out of frame the character waiting for their cue. It's shot like a soap opera, which I know Fred Olen Ray shoots Hallmark movies, but this is shot exactly like that. There is no coverage. There's just like these medium shots like I'm right now. The camera is always static, other than a couple pans and from times to time a tilt. Whenever there's suspense, the camera is just static, which I don't mind. But the issue with this is that it doesn't offer any variety of shots. It's just always the same soap opera. We got from this angle, medium close-up. We've got from this angle, medium close-up. In between that, we might get an establishing shot. This is shot like a goddamn fucking TV movie, but there is nudity and some blood. Which I was kind of hoping that this movie's saving point would be the blood and the gore and the guts, but no, it takes like 40 minutes for the pumpkin man to finally show up and start fucking up people. And when he does, it's pretty darn boring, because all the kids are the same, all the kills are the same. And other than one, which is my favorite moment of this film, is when a lady accidentally commits suicide by sticking a fork in a toaster. That, I have to admit, I did laugh my balls out. Which, I did have some fun with this. I did laugh a couple of times. I just feel like this one's full potential is with a group of friends that don't mind riffing a terrible movie, because that's what this is. It has, oh yeah, Linnea Quigley, of course. She's at least in the movie for a lot of the part. The way we're introduced to her is in a shower scene, which I don't mind seeing Linnea Quigley take a shower. In fact, I quite like that concept. I have a few movies that are based around Linnea Quigley naked, but in this film, it just feels so gratuitous and out of nowhere. Like, she's not even introduced, her character is not introduced before she's just naked in the shower. You see like her sister, which we learn after the shower scene, and she gets a phone call, but we don't know who she is. She's never introduced, other than when you see her naked, she answers the phone, and we discover that she's Sean's babysitter, because the parents are doing this haunted garage thing, which looks like absolute shit, by the way. If I paid $1 for that haunted garage, I would be pissed. And then the kid has like these dreams of the past, because oh my god, the beginning is so confusing. The first 15 minutes is so confusing. You have this old man who just hangs out with Sean, because again, this was the 90s. We didn't know what pedophiles were. He just hangs out with Sean and he tells the story of the pumpkin man. So we get a flashback that goes nowhere. And then we return to Sean, but at that point, I wasn't sure if we were still in the flashback, because there was nothing to denote both of them. And then in the beginning, Sean has these dreams where he sees like the grandfather who cursed the entire thing, doing his shtick. This is a mess. This makes no fucking sense. This is bad. This is a bad fucking movie. And then, yeah, Linnea Quigley, at least she's in the movie. Brink Stevens is advertised in this, and Cameron Mitchell, and John Carradine. They're in like this fake horror host TV show. And I'm pretty sure Cameron Mitchell is the guy that is my favorite part of the film, by the way. The one of the character is this very angry supermarket owner, and he watches TV, which is basically like just conservative like shit, and it made me laugh because there was a lot of things that I thought were new concepts, but he's like the host is amazing. He's like we're all Americans, blah blah blah. We're all equal. We all deserve respect, other than if you're a liberal. Now they don't deserve to breathe the same air as you. There's just so much shit that he says that's funny. And then the supermarket owner, the TV messes up, and then his wife is like, I told you we should get cable, and he's like, I don't want the liberal media in my home. Yeah. That was fun, at least. Like I said, there are moments that I like, and I will revisit this. This isn't 16:9, the aspect ratio is off, fuck off. I will revisit it, maybe with some friends and some drinks, and we can riff on it. But if it's just a movie you want to sit down by yourself and watch to get in the spooky mood, the killer looks pretty cool. It does have this Halloween feel, but not really, because they're in fucking Florida. So you don't get that fall feeling. The only, things you have are, Halloween decorations. And even then, you don't have a lot of them, because I'm pretty sure they didn't shoot this around Halloween, and the budget was way too low, and the set design was inexistent. So nobody dressed up the sets for Halloween. So it doesn't even have a good Halloween feel other than Killer having a jack-o'-lantern head. So don't watch this to get in the spooky mood. Don't watch this by yourself, because it's not good. Just watch this drunk with friends. That's the only way I can imagine people actually enjoying this film. The rating is... I did laugh my ass off. I have to admit that I did have some fun with some parts of this film. So this will get a 4.112. Yeah, 4.112. If we're doing decimals, I'll just go silly. 4.112. Not recommended other than in the ways that I've stated in this review. Anyways, I hope to see you guys, and not tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I might do one of these Saturday. I might do a couple of these Saturday and then post them later on, because Saturday I have time to watch movies. What time is it? Oh, it's 9. I gotta go play with my cat and then read fucking school textbooks.